Legends of war can change their way. We imagine our lives will be. The March family are on their way. Meg, Joe, Beth, and
Amy. Point. All right, Laurie is the match winner. Salute. Take a short break and we'll begin the next bout.
Joe knew that Laurie was at the Newcourt Men's Club taking fencing lessons. She wanted to learn the sport herself and was dying to see a match. It didn't seem to bother Joe that the club was for men only. She stood in the lobby till the sound of clashing foils led her to Laurie.
Parry 4. Counter parry. Good execution. Now disengage. Cut over. Double disengage. Excellent. Thrust. Crochet. The bout is completed. Nice work, you two. That'll be all for today. Next two fencers assume on guard position.
Joe, I'm not hurt.
As Laurie and Joe left the men's club, Joe was lost in thought, thinking about how exciting fencing is and how she'd like a match of her own one day.
I bet I could beat anybody with some practice in my fencing form. Watch me on guard, you blackguard.
Hey, not bad. Very nice thrust. Maybe I could throw him off guard with a lunge.
It appears to me you are the obvious winner.
Huh? Well, it was a pleasure to assist you, mademoiselle.
Touché, monsieur. I just got a fabulous idea. I'll fence my way into the Newcourt Times and make them print my story. Back,
Hey.
back.
You might hurt someone.
Yeah.
People will
Oh,
think
my.
you're crazy.
Oh. But I'll sure get their attention. They'll be scared to death.
Well, I believe I would be.
But Joe had second thoughts about bursting into the Newcourt Times, waving a saber over her head like a madwoman.
Laurie, it's beneath me and not my style to use force to get them to publish my story.
You can take your story somewhere else if they won't print it. Why not make it into a play and stage it where people would pay money to see it?
Oh, boy.
Huh?
I should have thought of that. Perhaps I might.
I could help you get some actors. I'm sure a couple of my fencing partners might be interested.
Oh, don't bother. I really don't think I'll need them. I'll do all the men's roles.
But that's crazy. Your hair's much too long.
So, I prefer to play them.
Well, no one will want to see a play where a man is played by a girl.
That is just ridiculous. Sounds like a man's rule.
That reminds me. I forgot my fencing rule book. Bye.
Hey, Laurie, should I wait? Acting is an art. All I must do is strike an arrogant poise and... bellow! I could lose my voice doing that.
Huh? Hi.
All right, gentlemen, I'm back. Rack 'em.
I'll put it back in the corner pocket.
I need to talk to my cousin David.
David, you better take a break. Someone wants to talk to you.
So, I'm busy.
Too busy to talk to a pretty girl?
Huh?
Hi. David, it's important that I speak to you now.
Joe! Joe! Oh, there you are.
Laurie, catch your breath. Just wait here a second.
I'm glad I found you. Joe, how come you're still here? I thought you were going to the newspaper.
I've been thinking about what I'd tell them.
You're taking your story back, aren't you?
Well, maybe just for a little while.
I'll take it back for good.
No. Here's your
But-
hat.
That's crazy.
I am going to give a public reading of my story.
Where in the world did you get that idea?
Come on.
From me?
You were the one.
But that's not what I meant. I proposed you write a play.
Seems like a simple case of misunderstanding.
Sorry. I meant to be helpful, and now I've forgotten why I came after you in the first place. Oh, I saw Meg in the club. That's what it was.
Are you sure it was her?
Uh-huh.
You are pulling my leg.
No, I'm not. I'm sure it was Meg. She seemed to be headed right for the billiard hall.
I'll go find her.
Joe, wait up. You can't just barge into the men's club again. They have rules barring women from the billiard room where they gamble.
I'm going. They're not going to keep me out.
I'm only trying to protect you from the rogues who gamble there.
Oh, yeah? Well, I can protect myself.
Why do you always have to be so hot-tempered?
Hot-tempered, nothing. My temper's fine.
Yeah, I guess I just thought that you had a hot temper because I've seen you blow up so many times. But I must have been wrong because if you say your temper's fine, who would know better than you?
You bet I do.
Right.
I'll give them a piece of my mind if they think their silly rules can keep me out of the club.
Uh-oh.
Where's Meg?
She went upstairs.
Where?
There. That's the billiard room.
You play billiards when you're not fencing?
No, I'm not very good at that game. But it must be a lot of fun once you perfect your technique.
I bet I could play.
I'll go look for Meg. You wait for me here, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
That way. Yeah, beautiful.
Don't bank the ball. You're about
who
to
let
lose your
that
rhythm
woman in
because a
here?
pretty
Does
girl
she
has
know the
appeared
rules?
again.
Go away.
Another cousin, David.
Hello. Well, my plucky cousin, what may I do for you?
Did Meg have some business here?
Yes. As a matter of fact, she did.
Did she mention the nature of her business by chance?
I'm not so sure I should be telling you that.
She might have been looking for me at this club.
No.
You sure? Maybe it slipped your mind.
I have a brilliant mind when I care to use it.
Now might be the time. Tell me why Meg came to the billiard room this afternoon.
Come on, David. Take a shot or forfeit the game.
I'll bet you're dying to play billiards.
You're so brilliant. Figure it out.
Take a shot, David. There's money riding on this game.
6 ball in the pocket. Perfect bank shot, David. Why, I believe I've just decided to double my bet.
Try for the corner pocket.
So my cousin's a would-be billiard player. Go home and do some knitting.
As she left the men's club, Joe was feeling ever so gloomy. David had made fun of her in front of his chums, and she never did find out what Meg was doing there.
Men don't take me seriously.
I believe in you, Joe. You can accomplish anything you want with a proper attitude.
Oh, my. I might run for president of the country. It seems to me I possess the ability to be fair and precise.
Yes. My dear Madam President, I would like to accompany you to the newspaper office if I may.
How very kind. I'm extremely annoyed with your attitude, Mr. Murdoch, as I've been very patient and fair. Now I must be brusque. You better print my story. The people insist on being kept informed.
Joe, you're so powerful and fierce, you have me shaking.
Don't make fun of me. I'm serious.
Poor Laurie. He thought Joe was play acting, but she intended to turn her dreams into reality.
They'll print that story because it's wonderful.
It doesn't look like there's anybody around.
Hello, Mr. Murdoch, Anthony, anybody here?
Hello.
Oh, I guess I was mistaken.
Miss Joe, what a surprise. You sure look mighty fine.
I am fine. My writing's keeping me busy.
Well, I am glad to hear that. I certainly am pleased to be working here. Everybody's been helpful, and especially you, Miss Joe.
I'm hoping you'll help me find out what happened to my story. I don't see it on the desk.
Well, I don't know what could have become of it, because I've been here all morning long. You best be asking Mr. Anthony about it.
Oh, well. I suppose Mr. Anthony threw my story in the garbage can. He's a pompous man.
Uh-huh.
Joe, I don't believe
I'm sorry I didn't introduce you to John. John, this is my good friend Laurie.
I'm mighty pleased to meet you, Laurie. And I might add, it does brighten my day to meet Miss Joe's fine friend.
I'm pleased to meet you, John.
Laurie wanted to shake John's hand, but John was reluctant. His hands were covered in ink from the printing press. Laurie, sensing the reason for John's embarrassment, grabbed his hand, and the awkwardness of the moment passed. As the two of them chatted, Joe was trying to figure out what article had been set up on the ink box to be printed.
Anthony Boone, cub reporter for Newcourt. I imagine Mr. Murdoch approves Anthony's articles before they're printed.
I believe Mr. Anthony is allowed to write what he pleases.
Well, he didn't leave much space for anybody else's story, did he?
Well, you could take it up with him, but he's gone for the day.
Apparently, it's more important that he run about town than read my story.
Hey, Joe, don't you think we should be going now?
Why not?
Well, you could come back tomorrow. Mr. Anthony should be here.
Ugh! My patience has been tried too much already. I'm not putting any more effort into tracking down Mr. Anthony Boone.
Mm-hmm.
Joe and Lori had just left the newspaper office when Anthony returned.
Anybody stop by, John?
Miss Joe was here. You missed her by a second.
Was she wondering why we hadn't printed her story yet?
Mm-hmm, yep. And I must say, she was pretty unhappy about it.
That's great. She'll be surprised.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure she'll be delighted, but how'll she find out about it?
I'm going to be the delivery boy. I'll put the paper right in front of her door.
You'd best be watching your feet. Miss Joe may take a peek at you and slam the front door before she reads the paper.
Uh-huh. Perhaps you've got a point.
Uh-huh. It might be wise to give her mother the paper.
Then I'd be able to give her mother the impression that I'm a big-time newspaper hotshot.
Keep an eye on your feet.
I may be overly optimistic, but I believe my work should at least be read. Oh, it's frustrating when a story doesn't get read. Why be a writer if nobody reads? I'm pretty good. Maybe Anthony prefers a classical style, but my stuff's good too. I'm baffled. Yes? Hey! Meg, where have you been? Lori and I tried to find you at the men's club.
Oh, for goodness sakes, how did you know I was there, Joe?
Lori saw you, heading right for the billiard hall.
I planned to talk to David.
Well, what happened? Wasn't David there playing billiards with his friends?
Yes, he poked fun of me for coming to his club, so I left.
You'd better start this story from the beginning, huh?
All right. When I arrived at the King home, instead of tutoring the children, Mrs. King sent me out to find David.
Really?
First I went to Aunt March's, but David wasn't there. She thought I could probably find him playing billiards at the men's club.
That explains it. I'd believed you had come looking for me at the club.
You were there? I didn't see you.
I went there to see Lori in a fencing match. Oh, Meg, I'm dying to learn the sport myself.
Joe, my dear, you're not a bit afraid of anything. If I possessed your spunk, maybe David would have talked to me about Ed.
What about Ed? Is he in trouble?
Well, I'm not exactly positive, but Mrs. King seems to feel he's mixed up with David in some gambling debts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, Ed had a terrible fight with his father. Then he disappeared. That must have been about 11 o'clock yesterday morning. And now Mrs. King is blaming herself for not stopping him.
Wow. Unbelievable.
I know, but Mrs. King fears Ed is in so much trouble now that he may never come back home again. It seems to me that Aunt March might be the best one to make David tell what he knows about Ed.
I'm sure she can make him remember a lot. As a matter of fact, she may remind David that he's responsible for Ed taking up gambling. I may be wrong about that, but I doubt it.
I'll bet Ed piled up gambling debts and decided to skip town with David's help. Mercy me, what a mess. I hope Aunt March can straighten it out.
I know a way. Maybe she'll lend Ed some money.
I don't believe she'll part with her money. She feels you must work to deserve it.
Aunt March, I have a very busy morning ahead of me, so I hope this won't take much time.
I'm well aware of your busy timetable. You need a full day for your billiard game.
What's wrong with that?
When you play, you gamble. That's what's wrong.
I play for the sport of it, not to win money.
Now stop that whining.
It upsets me to be treated this way. You even give your dog more respect.
My dog behaves in a more civilized manner. He deserves respect.
That's fine, so now you've even trained the poodle to insult me. I never expected to be abused like this by my own family.
You might have considered being more polite to my nieces. Harry feels the same way.
Normally I am. Please, Aunt March, can't we make peace?
Yes, when you apologize. Well, apologize to Joe for your boorish behavior at the men's club. You owe Meg an apology, too. When you leave my house today, you'll find Meg working at the King's. And perhaps you can tell Mrs. King where she can find her son.
I apologize to you, Joe.
And?
Let's see. I'm thinking.
That's refreshing. Be sure not to overdo it, though. You might hurt yourself.
What the? Aunt March, I'm doing my very best to be pleasant.
Tell me where Ed has gone.
I wonder if David will tell Aunt March the truth.
Actually, I'm not sure where Ed is. He may be playing billiards down at the men's club.
What? We know Ed is missing?
Apparently you know more about Ed than I do, but then Ed might not always tell me everything. He's a big boy and should be able to make his own decisions about his life. Heck, I have to.
He's barely a man, a mere 18, and already piling up terrible gambling debts. That boy needs discipline.
I believe he's about to get a massive amount of discipline very soon.
You must mean he's joined the Union Army, then.
That's right.
Why are you amazed that I was able to figure that out, David? I'm old, but not dumb.
I never underestimate you.
I'm glad to hear it.
I might as well tell you the whole story, Aunt March. Won't take long. Ed believes that he'll be able to break his gambling habit by joining up with the Army.
It seems that young man has made a very wise decision, and I'm glad to hear it. You could benefit from the military life yourself.
I can't imagine picking up a gun and fighting in the war. Not me, Auntie.
Why not make something of your life? Gambling has no merit.
No, I don't wish to be killed by some Confederate. There's not much merit in becoming a dead enlisted man. Because nobody can make it back alive from this battle. They'll all be killed, both north and south, everyone...
Stop it now, David. You're upsetting my niece. Her father's in the middle of the battle right now.
Oh, my. What have I done?
Joe, dear, David didn't mean to hurt you. Pay him no mind.
I hope your father makes it home from the war. Well, maybe he will come home. Hey, Joe? Huh?
Please leave my house before you cause any more damage. Perhaps you can see Meg and clear that up. And maybe you'll be able to open your big mouth without putting your foot in it.
La 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 la.
Look, someone's coming!
Huh?
That's David, Ed's friend.
David, what are you doing here?
I'm here to apologize for my behavior, Meg.
I'm surprised.
I'm usually a proper gentleman, but I was rude to you, which I now regret.
Now, will you tell me where to find Ed?
Ed's left town to join the Army because he thinks it will change his life. I personally believe military life won't change Ed one little bit. In fact, Meg, I'm willing to bet on it.
David continued on his way to the billiard hall, leaving a stunned Meg to break the news about Ed to Mrs. King. Meanwhile, Jo had composed herself and returned home.
Don't be surprised if Jo runs for president of the country, Mrs. March. She thinks she'd be a good one.
I believe she would be good.
Maybe, but I don't think a woman could ever be elected president.
Don't be so sure of that. Gotcha.
Hey, you took my rook.
I'm aware of that. Beth, any pointers for Lori?
I'd be sure to keep my eye on the White Queen's bishop if I were playing the game.
Thanks, Beth.
But right now, you better worry about a double attack by Joe's white rook.
Really, Beth? Maybe. Ah, yes, my rook can be protected by my king, but maybe my rook can imprison the Black King by moving horizontally. You know, Beth, I'm beginning to plot my strategy moves just like a professional chess player. Why, I'll be able to challenge Mr. Lawrence at any time.
I imagine he'll be very pleased to learn that you've been able to pick up the game so quickly.
I'm about to skunk you. Well, it sure looks to me like I've got your king in check, and in fact it appears that there's no way out, so I'll just have to say checkmate.
I refuse to believe it. You had to have cheated to beat me.
I'm sorry. Maybe we can play another game and you can beat me this time. Of course, Madam Presidents always win.
Jo, you're absolutely infuriating.
I personally think we women are capable of making wise presidential decisions. I'd permit pickled limes to be in every single schoolroom.
That's crazy.
That's a typical man for you.
Huh?
You don't think we're capable. I doubt very much if you could do any better than we can.
Oh, yeah? Says who?
I'm willing to bet on it.
What about me? Aren't I capable? Oh, I believe the presidential buggy has arrived.
Hi, ma'am. Oh, my. I beg your pardon.
Is there something I can do for you, sir?
Is Joe's mother here?
Yes, but she's busy. Maybe I can help you.
Sounds like a pretty lively party's going on in there.
Well, you know the marches. Huh? Well, why are you giving me this newspaper?
There's something to see on page 9, and I suggest that Miss Josephine March will be very excited by that particular page, I hope.
Wouldn't you like to give this to her yourself?
No, I'd better be going. Give her my best, and be sure to watch for a reaction.
I wonder what he meant by that. Hey, Joe.
Yes, what's that in your hand?
It's today's newspaper. Anthony dropped it off.
He came here?
Yes, that was him at the door just now. I guess you better take a look at this.
Oh.
He spoke about you looking at something at page 9. Wait! Your story!
This page?
There. The Couple with Angel Wings by Josephine March.
Ah, my first story in print.
They even put a scroll around the title and your name. That's impressive. Very classy.
Let me see.
Oh, my goodness. Joe, I'm just so very happy for you. Joe, you've become famous.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
Look, Mother.
I'm so proud of you, dear.
I'd better try to catch up with Anthony and thank him.
You'd better hurry, Joe. Congratulations.
The ending's quite mushy.
Well, that's not so terrible.
Huh?
It's about an angel couple.
Ew.
Anthony!
Fortunes of